right, what's next? All right, referring to the figure at the right, which of the three expression lists below is the largest, the smallest. Okay, so the tangent of CED, let's see, that would be CED, this triangle here. So tangent's the same as the slope, right? So actually all we have to do is think of it this way, you guys. Which line is the steepest? Because that line is going to have the largest slope, and slope is the same as tangent. So AE is going to be the largest. AED is going to be the largest. Okay, largest tangent, because it's the steepest, right? Steepest slope. Because steepest slope, right? Steepest line. BED is next. So if this is 1, then this is 2, and CED is 3. So just explain it in words like I did. This is not enough words. Just turn it into a couple of sentences. Okay. Let's take a look at this one. So remember, the easiest way to do any probability, in my humble opinion, is the area model. So in this case, I'm going to do spinner number 1 on the top and spinner number 2 on the left-hand side. So we have A, B, C, and A, B, C. Okay. And in spinner 1, A is 1/4, B is 3/8, and C is 3/8. And by the way, you could do either spinner on the side and either spinner on the top because we're multiplying, we're going to get the same answer, okay? And then A is 1/2, and then 1/4, and then 1/4. So the probabilities of all of these is just going to be the probability of one side times the other. So the probability of spinning an A in both spinners is 1/4 times 1/2, right? So because this area here is going to be this side times this side, just like all of our other area models, right? So when you're multiplying fractions, you multiply the numerators and then you multiply the denominators. So that's 1/8, okay? And then 3/8 times 1/2, 3 times 1, my numerator is 3. And I'm going to do these differently since I made these really small. So this is going to be 3/16 because 8 times 2 is 16. And this is going to be exactly the same, 3/16. This one's going to be 1/4 times 1/4. 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 4 is 16. Then here we have 3/8 times 1/4. So 3 times 1 is 3. 8 times 4 is 24, and this is going to be also 3/24. 3/24. 1/4 times 1/4 is going to be again 1/16. This is going to be 3/24, and this is going to be 8 times 4, 32. Oops, and that's what this is going to actually be too, right? 32, there. Cool, so what are we trying to find? What we're trying to find was the probability that you win. And how do you win? If the letters match. So if they're AA and BB and CC, that is going to be the probability that I win. So you can just add those up together. Now don't forget how to use your calculator. So I'm going to put AA is 1/8 plus the probability of BB is 3/24, and plus the probability of CC is 3/32. Okay. Now don't forget you can also turn this back into a fraction. Well, you can add them all up, and if you multiply by 100, that'll give you your percent. So the percent probability is times 100 34.375% that you are going to win. 34.375%. You will win. Okay, but let's go turn that back into a fraction too so we can practice this. If, whoops, if how do I get back up to my, you can't do it on this old version. So let me just do this again. So I have 1 divided by 8 plus 3 divided by 24 plus 3 divided by 32. Okay, there was my decimal. If you want to turn it back into a fraction, press the math button and then fraction, which is just 1, so you can just hit enter. Enter. It's also 11 out of 32. 11 out of 32 and 34.375%. Both of those are the chances you're going to win. The chances you are going to lose would be 100% minus that. Wasn't asking that, but I thought I'd throw that in for you. Okay, what's next? So the bar graph, so my triangle here is on the wrong page, but let's just look at the bar graph. The way that this question was written, I felt like it was confusing also, but let's just see. This was the red, this was the yellow, this was the blue. It was trying to figure out what percent the green was. So if this is 100%, and we know that this was red, and I'm just going to stack them on top of each other because the green was torn off, right? So we know red was 3 by 3. And then we know that yellow was just 3. But what if we had put that on top? So we have red, now we have yellow. And then next was blue, which was also 3. Okay, so we're just stacking them on top of each other. So the question is really asking, how much must green be? And green must be these 3 squares because that takes us up to 1, which is really 100%. So then to find how much that is, it's really 3, like as a percent, it's 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. It's 3 out of 24 total squares, which reduces down to 1/8 because 3 can go into 3 once and 3 can go into 24/8. So it does say you need to justify completely. Please write a couple of sentences for that. And let's do this. Let's see. Let's use this picture of the triangle here. It looks like it's cut off a little bit in what I'm looking for, so I can just find it here. And let's make another, I'm going to press pause and make another copy of this, okay? All right, this is better. So calculate the value of x. I have an x here and an x here, and I know those are vertical angles, so they must be equal to each other. So we need to set up an equation and then solve that equation. I have 2x plus 18 equals 3x minus 7. I'm going to get my x's on the same side, so I'm going to subtract 2 x's from both sides so that I don't have a negative number. Okay, so now I have 18 is equal to just x minus 7. Then the last thing I need to do to solve for x is to add 7 to both sides. So x is equal to 18 plus 7 is what, 25? Okay, and that's what x is, not what that angle is. The value of x is equal to 25. But, and this will help me figure out, well, let's do y first. For y, what you need to understand is that the triangles are marked so that we know this line and this line are parallel, which means this line is a transversal, okay, which means that angle 88 degrees and this angle here are corresponding angles, so they are equal. So I know that y plus 10 degrees must be equal to 88 degrees. So if I subtract 10 from both sides to solve for y, I get y is 78 degrees. Okay, y is 78. And then solving for z is a little bit tougher. So I have x and I have y, but I actually want to know if I can, so check this out. If I'm looking at this triangle, right? I know all of the angles in this triangle must add up to be 180. So I know this angle, y plus 10 together, is 88 degrees, right? And if x is 25, then this angle is 3 times 25 minus 7, which 3/4 is 75 cents, minus 7 is 68 degrees. So this angle is 68 degrees. So I know 88 plus 68 plus z is equal to 180. So 88 and 68 is 156 plus z equals 180. Subtract 156 from both sides and we get 66, 76, what is that, 24? I'm going to check with my calculator. 180 minus 156. 24 degrees. Was that our last question, you guys? Let's see. Yay! Okay, well, happy studying. I'm going to send out some extra videos later on this evening for extra credit and to help you do better on the test. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you all next class.